Hello, everybody. Welcome. Are we ready to go? Should we wait a few more minutes? What do you want to do?
Hello. From me, we're good to go. Hi, Chantel.
All right.
Hey, Rodrigo.
Hi, Abby.
Thank you. So good to see many of our regular faces back again. Thank you so much. I think we can start. So again, if you know any others who want to join us, please send them a reminder. But the most important thing is that we are here and that we are together. So thank you everybody who's here. As is our usual tradition, we'll start by playing the Ukrainian national anthem. So I will stand, you're welcome to stand, or acknowledge the anthem in any way that you can. All right? Thank you. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, and welcome once again. My name is Yemi Babidinashaye. I lead United People Global as the president. Welcome and thank you for joining our United for Ukraine event. We come together once a week. We're just ordinary people, as the saying goes, and we do the maximum we can. And so we use this space as a way to share ideas for action, share feelings, to hold each other's hands, to share information, because there's so much, if you like, fact and counterfacts out there. So we use this space to share information. But most importantly, we just use this space to be united for Ukraine. As we always do, we will open the mic for anybody to share how they are feeling. So if you would like to speak, just use the Zoom app and raise your hand and you got the mic. Once the floor is open for a few minutes, we would then transition to our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. They will share with us a message. So please, as the spirit moves you, raise your hand if you'd like to say anything. While we wait for hands, from me, as most of you know, the offensive by the Russians in the east of Ukraine that we have been waiting for has unfortunately started. It started over the Easter holiday. And of course, it looks bad. I saw an appeal from one of the Ukrainian commanders that's remaining in Mariupol, and my heart just broke. My heart just broke because if you haven't seen it, it's very short, and he speaks with a lot of dignity. But if you look at the maps, they're completely encircled. And these are people who are fighting to the death for something that they believe in, something that we believe in. And we are watching. And so my heart broke. And I don't know, I pray As those of you who are here every week know, I've said there's only two things that are going to stop this. It's either we find the courage to enforce the peace and we declare a no-fly zone, find a way to stop them fighting, or there's some divine intervention from God somehow. So either we pray to man or we pray to God. We need something to stop this. So that's kind of how I'm feeling now, because they are demonstrating exceptional courage to stand and fight for the freedom that they believe in, the same freedom that we believe in. So please, as the Spirit moves you, raise your hand if you want to share how you're feeling or anything on your mind. Rodrigo, I see your hand. You've got the microphone, Rodrigo.
Thank you, Amy. Yeah, those last few weeks have been completely heartbreaking. It's hard. So I'm in Spain. Every morning when I open the TV, watch the TV, we see new images of bodies in the streets. We see the details of all the war crimes, the sexual crimes against children happening there. We see Germany refusing to stop buying oil and stop buying gas from Russia because it would be hard for them to pay more and more for that kind of stuff. I don't know, I feel just like you said, Amy, that we need to take action, or we need to pray more and more to see what's going to happen. And today in special, it was really hard for me watching some footage of Russia rehearsing for their Victory Day on the 9th of May. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep seeing the news.
Thank you so much for sharing, Rodrigo. Thank you. Ben, I see your hand. You've got the mic.
Thank you. So I think the main thing in the UK, if I'm honest, in the last week is the news have all kind of been circulated around. There was two British nationals that were captured. And obviously, you know, the news is very much focused on that due to the fact that they're sort of being paraded as, would you say, like pawns to sort of show, after Boris's visit to Kiev, it's sort of like oh, we've got your people, and they're trying to use it as leverage. And it reminded me of, I watched a film last night because it just reminded me of something. If anyone knows the story, Yemi, you probably will, of Francis Gary Powers, who was shot down over the USSR back in the 1960s. And the exact same thing happened. He was paraded around all state media, shown across the world, and he was severely tortured and beaten up. He looked horrible. And he was forced to say all these things about how evil the Americans are and how wrong, you know, what they do is. And he ended up being, the British Spies is about the prisoner exchange that happened where he was brought back to America. But those techniques and those standards and tactics are, you know, still in place 60 years later. You know, you capture soldiers and you get them to tell the world. And it was mentioned last week, you know, about, you know, capturing soldiers and then getting them to tell the world about how wrong Ukraine is and how, how they're terrorists and how it's all lies and the Russians are great soldiers and they're actually doing their job. And it's this tactic that just hasn't gone. This propaganda, you know, of Goebbels level propaganda of just mindlessness. And you think that people actually believe that? The Russians believe that we're going to watch that and believe it. And it just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of upsetting to think that their families back home know they see these videos, you know, these 30-second videos of them, you know, talking about how bad Ukraine is and how great Russia is, and knowing that the mental torture that they are going through is unbelievable. So yeah, you're right. So I think it's just stressful to think that, you know, the amount of families that are now affected, and you know, and I know obviously the obvious ones are the victims and then the Ukrainians and things, but once again we're kind of showing the degree of impact is that it's felt around the world. there's families as far as here that are feeling the impact of knowing that their son, their grandson, their brother, their cousin is being mentally tortured in unspeakable ways. And so, yeah, I think it probably brings out the anger a little more again. And like Rodrigo said, seeing the parade, you just think that a AC-130 would be a much better view on that parade. But that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, so thank you.
All right, thank you so much for sharing, Ben, and forgive the sound interruption. I was looking for that video from the Ukrainian commander to see, I don't know how many people had seen it, but it is quite powerful if we want to share it at some point. It's very short too. All right, Mihaki, I see your hand. You got the microphone. How are you feeling? What do you want to share?
Hello guys. My name is Mwihaki from Kenya. Mine is to tell you how impactful this platform is. We're just ordinary people, like Yemi said, but we have the burden to bring a difference. I'll say the previous weekend was Easter. I was with my family, but I really felt the urgent need to do the United for Ukraine video. So I just want to say, you guys, our friends from Ukraine, you are doing such an amazing job and are taking action. And from the statistics we had last week about the kids, I don't think I have honestly recovered from that. And right now my heart is pounding so hard because I'm in for some realities with their presentation. And I just want to say it's important that we are here because through this platform, we are getting to know the realities of whatever is happening on the ground. So good job, and thank you to everyone who's present.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mihaki. Thank you. And maybe that's a good transition, Danke, if you're ready to show the video. If you're ready, or
We are ready, but Alexandra will be sharing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Actually, it's the first part. Yeah. Alexandra, I'll continue.
Yeah, just 1 second.
Okay.
All right. So we've invited people to make a United for
also
Ukraine
one
video.
video. Yeah. It's like the first part, and we want to make it bigger. We could add your videos too. Just send for us in the same disk.
Yeah, it was at the end of our presentation, and I thought that at the end of our presentation we will say a big thank you, because Ukraine is much stronger with leaders like you. And here is the video, but tell me if you hear the sound.
Okay.
This is Maria Mikakidze from Georgia, and I stand with Ukraine. I call the world to save Ukraine and save the future of our universe.
This is Mwihaki Njogu from Kenya. I stand with Ukraine. I call upon the world to speak out and take action against this vice. Let's come together and put an end to this.
Hi, my name is Ankita Bera, and I strictly condemn the Russian aggression and firmly stand with Ukraine. I call upon the government of India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi to take action against the escalation of the war and boycott Russian goods. Thank you.
This is James Peck from the United States. I stand with Ukraine. I call the world to stand with solidarity with the Ukrainian people to provide economic prosperity for future Ukrainian generation, to defend their own democratic institution and their own governance, to preserve their cultural heritage and their own identities, to provide humanitarian assistance with Ukraine, to support Ukraine, and to world to recognize Ukraine as an independent nation and their own sovereign integrity. And lastly, is to ensure that there's peace and stability within the region and elsewhere in Europe, and also NATO to request to accept their membership to join the NATO to prevent from future adversaries challenging the Ukrainian governance, the institution, and the system. Lastly, we want to make sure that there's no war in the 21st century and the future generation.
This is Kiki Ngomsi Karen from Cameroon. I stand with Ukraine, and I call upon the world leaders to act for Ukraine and ensure peace in Ukraine. We are united for Ukraine.
This is Blessing Ngapi from Nigeria, and I stand with Ukraine. I stand with my brothers and sisters in Ukraine, and I'm calling on the United Nations and world leaders to take more action against Russian leaders in putting an end to this war. We want peace.
My name is Denilson Gomes da Costa. I'm from Brazil and I stand with Ukraine.
My name is Danka. I'm Ukrainian and I call every world leader to do everything possible to stop this stupid Russia's invasion of Ukraine and especially organize green corridors from Mariupol to save those who still have hope to stay alive.
This is Geke Bwana from Nairobi, Kenya. I stand with Ukraine. I call all the world leaders to pursue peace because war is not worth our expense and we don't need war. Peace.
Hello, this is Alejandra Gonzalez. I am from Bolivia. I stand with Ukraine and I call the global leaders to stop being selfish and start thinking about the well-being of the others.
This is Alexandra from Ukraine. I call the world leaders and those who have power to stop hesitate and finally give to Ukraine everything we so barely need, including defensive and offensive heavy weapons. The cost of your hesitation are lives of Ukrainian soldiers and civilians. Today, Ukraine is a shield for the whole democratic world. We protect peace and democracy from Russia's terrorism. Let's stand with Ukraine and donate to Ukrainian army.
Oh, so powerful. Thank you so much. Can we just show some love to everyone who's made a video? And if you haven't, please make a video. We will continue to share how you can do this. We'll do that during this session. Thank you so much. Now, I think that maybe before we go to the presentation, perhaps I can share that the message from the Ukrainian commander. That's okay?
Yeah, we would like it.
Okay. All right. So it's about, I think, a minute long or a minute and a half. Can you see my screen?
Наше звернення до світу. Це може бути нашим останнім зверненням. В нас, можливо, залишились лічні дні або години. Угрупування противника в десятки разів перебільшує нас. Вони мають панування у повітрі, в артилерії, в угрупуваннях, які діють на суходолі, технікою та танками. Ми ведемо оборону на одному об'єкті, на заводі, де знаходяться військові Маріупольського гарнізону та цивільні особи, які потрапили в пастку війни. Ми звертаємось до світових лідерів допомогти нам. Ми звертаємось з проханням застосувати в нас процедуру екстракшн та вивести нас на територію третьої держави. Маріупольський гарнізон військових, з нами більше ніж 500 поранених бійців та сотні цивільних осіб, серед яких є жінки та діти. Ми просимо надати нам безпеку на території третьої держави. Дякую.
Yemi, could I add something?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just looking for it. Actually, my friend organized some campaign in Facebook. They prepared post when they tag all like world leaders in order to like organize this green corridor from Mariupol, and especially for those who actually civilians who stay in Azovstal. And I will share this post in few minutes in the chat. Just like take copy and overview it and please share. Like it's just like few minutes. And also in this post you could see like video with civilians who stay in this. Alejandra, I think she will tell more about this. But there was like a video and there was like a moment which touched me, because there was like one little boy in this shelter, in this bunker, and she tells the story that he had like a birthday in this bunker, and she told my mom, my dad promised me that after we will leave this bunker, after we will be safe, they like buy me big present, like the best present. And I think for those children who are in this bunker, like the best present is this like safe green corridor. Yeah, I'm just looking.
Thank you, Danka. Alexandra, did you want to add anything with that video?
Well, in presentation, we have a little information about one more video from Azovstal, and it was shot, I guess, 2 days before the one that we watched, and it was powerful. And Danka tagged me in stories, and I woke up lately in the night, but I was shocked and I couldn't fall asleep. It's terrible things that are happening right now.
All right, thank you.
And
So
after we watched the video made up that Danka created or edited, I want to say big thank you to those who shoot that video. And I don't know if you can imagine how inspired we are when we hear your words, and they are so sincere, and we feel power. And I believe that with those people like you, well, you are those who will make this world really better place. I truly believe that. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. All right, so please prepare. I'm going to come back to you for your presentation for today. Family, just in case you missed the beginning of that video, the video that we just saw from the commander is from one of, I guess, the last battling groups in Mariupol, and he's appealing for help. It looks like they've decided to fight to the last, and they've said the only other alternative is if they're extracted. So they would like to be extracted. If they cannot win, they'd like to be extracted. We don't know what the world is going to do with this request. Obviously, they'd prefer to stand their ground, and they would prefer to have some kind of military victory. But the sad truth is that the most likely outcome is neither the military victory nor the extraction. The most likely outcome is either they will be taken captive or they will be killed. Those are the most likely outcomes. And that's very, very sad. And I really pray and hope that we find the courage to change this trajectory. I really pray and hope that those governments with armies, at this stage, it's not about supplying weapons, because I'm not sure if weapons can reach Mariupol right now. At this stage, I think it's going to have to be some other kind of intervention. So we continue to pray for them. I would love to give the mic to our Ukrainian brothers and sisters if you are ready, so you can share with us your thoughts for today.
Yes, Yemi, thank you. We are ready, and I'm going to share our presentation.
Thank you.
First of all, I would like to start from one information, and for more understanding, while we were preparing one of our presentation, Oksana wrote in our chat with Ukrainians after I said that I heard Putin's and Lukashenko's dialogue. Oksana asked me, did they announce something? And I said, well, I'm not sure, because I saw only the part of this presentation, and I'll try to explain you why she asked me this. As you see, this is only one situation. Here we see that on 11 April, Russian news said that 6 Russian border regions raised terror threat level. Here are 3 of them, and these regions. Next day, our chief of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine stated that the enemy is planning terrorist attack. And I want you to realize that it's regular Russians practice that they do something bad, and even to their people, even to Russians, and try to say that those people do that to themselves or to their people. And on April 14th, Russia's alleged that its settlement of Klimovo in Bryansk Oblast is here. It lies about 12 kilometers away from Ukrainian borders. And the next day, our security service of Ukraine published intercepted phone conversation from a Russian soldier and his wife. And at the beginning of this conversation, his wife was concerned because she told about dead people in Klimovo. And then Russian soldier said, "Come down, these are our guys shelling." And you see what he tells next. And after he told her everything, she said, "Oh, okay, now I feel a little bit better after hearing that." I was shocked. So I realized they do such things, but when I saw her voice, her telling that now she feels better, it was completely a surprise for me. And it's not only Putin, it's not only Russian soldiers. I don't know how to explain this. And some news from the last week. You told Yemi, you told about Mariupol, and here is the map. So it is a map of Mariupol. Everything here is Mariupol, but red zone are occupied with Russians, and this gray zone. It's Azovstal, that plant where civilians and soldiers are. And on April 17th, the defenders of Mariupol refused to surrender. Every day we see news that they refuse to surrender. And on April 18th, we saw the first video from Denis Prokopenko, and he asked to open this real green corridor, and he told that there are many women, children, and elderly people and wounded soldiers, and he wanted the green corridor for them. And I don't know, but I guess bravery looks like this map. And also on April 18th, this so-called battle for Donbass, or the second phase of war, has officially started. And also on this day, Russian missiles hit the western Ukrainian city of Lviv. It's probably one of the most western city, and there were first killed people in Lviv. There were seven people were killed, and at least, there is a mistake, at least 11 people were injured in Lviv. And here you see crimes committed during full-scale invasion of the Russian Federation. And here you see at the bottom of this picture, you see that 205 people were killed and at least 367 children were injured. And I want to emphasize that this is only an official statistics. And moreover, Russians forcibly relocated more than 500,000 Ukrainians to Russia, including 121,000 children. Actually, some of them were kidnapped and some of them were forcibly relocated. The Ukrainians in Russia issued documents banning them from leaving Russia regions for 2 years. What is it if not a crime? And this terrible photos shows that this week I had a chance to visit my home. Yes, I moved home. I took some clothes and leave it because it's still dangerous to be there. But these pictures were made on the road. So here you see some technique, military technique, which is destroyed. And here is a house, a new house. It was built a few years ago. You see how damaged it is. And here you see only the wall, but it was a big house. It was like this one, this huge. And this is a gas station. And here is a bridge for pedestrians. I'm not sure how it calls in English, but it was destroyed, and it was destroyed. And when we come back, this part of this bridge, it was removed because it was dangerous if it fall down. And here in the top, you see this is a maternity hospital. And when we saw it, the only question I asked is what maternity hospital had done to them. And this also a Russian technique. But nevertheless, we're still fighting. I believe that every Ukrainian has no right to give up. We have to be strong, we have to be brave. As my Ukrainian sisters, we come here every week. It takes a lot of energy, but we do it because we believe that it will help somehow to end this war. And Danka will tell you about other fronts that fight in this war. Danka.
Yeah. Thank you, Alexandra. Actually, it was hard for us to figure out some kind of organization, some specific organization which help Ukrainians and especially Ukrainian army now. But so we want to tell about only few of them, but there are more. Alexandra, next slide. Yeah, I think most of us heard about a Red Cross. In Ukraine, there is also Red Cross. It's Ukrainian Red Cross. And firstly, we want to emphasize that there is big difference between Ukrainian Red Cross Society or Ukrainian Red Cross and International Committee of the Red Cross. It's completely different organization. Firstly, because Ukrainian Red Cross has own mandate, if I pronounce it correctly, mandate, and this organization works like only in on territory of Ukraine, like Ukrainians volunteers are there. But the International Committee of Red Cross, they have international mandate. And in this case, they are like a neutral and like mediator between like two parts of war conflict, and they have opportunity like to communicate with authorities of this war conflict. And why we emphasize it because there was like kind of scandal in March 22. The president of International Committee of the Red Cross meet with Sergei Lavrov, the foreign affair. And in Moscow, they were discussing that, oh, it would be nice to open like Red Cross office in Russia. But for Ukrainians, it is unacceptable. Why? Because in this case, it seems for us, it's mean for us that Russia legitimize this like so-called humanitarian corridors, and as well facilitate forced deportation Ukrainians from occupied territory to Russia. And there is like so many cases like when people when civilians believe that now they will be in Ukraine, they pass through this blog post and go to Ukraine, but Russia forces, but Russia soldiers forces them to like move to Russia, and for us it's like unacceptable to open Red Cross office in Russia. And thank you UPG, I thank you Yemi, and that you just like cross down Red Crosses from the list of organization who can support international commitment in your website. So about Red Cross in Ukraine, actually this organization, as we mentioned, have neutral position, and that's why volunteers have like opportunity to go in occupied territory and work directly, help directly to civilians who are occupied. And mostly Red Cross works because of volunteers, because they help, and it's like in numbers you could see how big impact is of Red Cross in Ukraine. We have like 6,000 volunteers and 3,000 are reserve. Also, they give help like 400,000 people and distribute the humanitarian aid like in more than like 2,000 tons. And also in Ukraine, there is emergency response team. It's like 500 volunteers. 50 of them is in Kyiv, but the main thing, as I understand it, emergency response team, it's like team which works in really like hot spots, like, and Alexandra, maybe next slide. And there is like a story of one volunteer, one girl, Tanya Romanchuk, from Ukrainian Red Cross. And actually, we find like some like quotes or from her interview, and I will read them maybe. Yeah. About her experience. We are not saving thousands of lives, and there are we are now saving thousands of lives, and there are thousands of other lives, little universes. Their moms and dads, their grandparents, their daughters and sons. Our work doesn't bring us money. We hardly visit our homes and don't see our relatives. And another one is like from her experience when he crosses checkpoint with Russians troops, like soldiers. When I pass the Russian checkpoint, I need to be restrained as possible, despite the feelings that are raging inside. If something goes wrong, anything can happen. They can shoot me or our crew, take me prison, and as a result, we will fail in the evacuation of civilians. And another one is like one important remark. We mentioned that they work in this occupied territory, but Tanya said that we don't leak personal data or make video because next time we won't be able to enter the occupied territories and help the people who remain there. And you could like imagine when you go to this occupied territory, when you saw this like this Russian crimes, and you had an opportunity like to make photo, to tell like what is the truth, because firstly you go to help people. Yeah, and if you want to go deeper, we will send this presentation like later or public in forum. There is like whole interview with Tanya Romanchuk, Ukrainian Red Cross volunteer. So you could read it all. And another organization, yeah, thank you. It's Ukrainian Volunteer Service. Actually, this organization also worked in Ukraine before the Russia's full-scale invasion. Since 2017, they developing a culture of volunteering in Ukraine in order to like people do something for another people, like just like usual thing. And more like in numbers, you could see these numbers from the beginning of Russia was they involved more than 1,000 volunteers. Sorry, not 1,000, 100,000 volunteers. Involved also 152 case managers and 12 moderators. They also have like application form. So if you need help, you could fill this application form in their website, and then they will help you with your request. And they, if I'm not mistaken, also have like hotline. And thus they resolve more than 20,000 requests, distribute and deliver 730 food packages. And what is most important, like they help people to evacuate from 6th region of Ukraine. And this 6th region, they was in really like in hotspot in the east of Ukraine. And I will not continue because there is so much numbers. You could like see it, but it's like where we find this data. We find this data on the like open post of maybe next slide, Alexandra, Anna Bondarenko. It was like, if I'm not mistaken, 15th or 15th 50th day of war, and she made this post. And actually, it's like her personal story from the beginning of war, and it's also touched me. And there's like some quotes I will write you. I have a dream to visit some performances at the Metropolitan Opera, so I even bought tickets to the USA. I plan to spend a week on business in Washington and a week off in New York. On the first day of the war, I donate all money collected for this trip to the Return Alive Foundation and forget about my dream. Yeah, it's like so touched me. If you visited our previous session, you know that Return Alive Foundation is like one of the biggest foundation who help Ukrainian army. And also, by the way, in the link of video which we present at the beginning, you could find on comment on description link to donate to Return Alive Foundation.
Danka, if you allow me just one
Yeah.
thing, it's not only one of the biggest foundation, it's one of the most effective foundation.
Yeah. It's true. Thank you. And another thing, it's like when she mentioned in her post, when I am upset, I visit an admin panel and look at the result of UVS work of the organization in numbers. There are thousands of incredible stories. Behind each number, we can't cover all of them, and there are thousands of people I want to thank and hug. And for me, it's like something when not only numbers tell about results, but people who are with you, who help with you, like tell you and show you that everything will be more than good after Ukrainian victory. I hope for this. And I think it's all from me. Nathan?
Yes, thank you, Danka. Thank you, everyone. And hello, everyone. Hello again. Yes, I will continue. As you can see, today we are sharing the news and information about our internal help. Yes, what we're doing inside of our country, despite the fact that we are in the war. Yes, but we still have lots of resources, what we can do. So, Alexandra, please go to the next slide. And we want to tell you about our Ukrainian designers and business overall. Of course, we cannot cover all businesses in Ukraine which help, because there are like lots of them, thousands of them, yes, but there are some which we gathered and which do a lot for our country. It depends on business, yes, what they are doing, but some of they are, preparing clothes, or they make some hands stuff. They can make jewelry, or for example, lingerie or other things, and then help Ukrainian army as well as Ukrainian people. Here in the slide, you can see just 4 companies which we highlighted. We wanted to highlight. It's Guzema Fine Jewelry. Yes, they are transferring all its income to Ukrainian army and people. Why we were really impressed, because the company doesn't just donate some amount of money, but they donate all its income. They have their website where they sell the nice bracelets, earrings, or some nice stuff for ladies, and donate all this income to Ukrainian needs. And another company is called Symbior, and they launch a symbiosis support campaign, and they use this suspended coffee principle. So when people from the territories where no active fightings occurred, yes, they can buy a coffee and like another coffee, like a suspended coffee, yes, and donate this amount of money for some displaced people within Ukraine, and some part of money they donate to Ukrainian army. There is another company called Sleeper, which transfer all its April income for Ohmady Children's Hospital. It's the main hospital in Kiev, in our capital, yes, and they transfer again all its income for 1 month to the children's hospital. And again, they have their website, official website, and they made a different button, a separate one, yes, and they describe how you can donate from abroad. So again, if you're interested, you can go and check after our session in this presentation, just go and visit their website. And another one is our famous brand Bra Bra Bra. It's a lingerie brand, which is pretty new one, but very successful within the Ukraine. And they also transfer its lingerie to volunteer centers, to maternity hospitals, and they also support Ukrainian army. And another part, which is very important for us, of course, because it's very, I would say, popular, yes, and impactful business within Ukraine. It's IT business, because our IT specialists, they are working not only within our country, they mostly have their like customers and employers abroad, yes, so they work for the US, they work for Europe, and again, they help a lot. We can say that IT business, like overall, they support Ukrainian army, they provide humanitarian needs to the population. And of course, due to coronavirus, we were working, all of us, yes, were working remotely, and they provided their offices even now, because it's a need for the people who are displaced from different countries, from different regions of Ukraine, yes, which are displaced, and they can stay in their offices for free, and they can use it as a temporary shelters for those in need. And you can see on the slide that 2% of IT specialists are fighting for Ukraine, so they are either in the Ukrainian army or working like volunteers, yes. And what is important, that the companies, they support this decision of the employees, yes, and they keep their salaries and even their working places. And the employers, they encourage IT specialists to volunteer, and if there is a need, they even can provide the part-time working day for them, yes. And you can see that overall there was a survey in Ukraine that 18% of IT specialists are volunteers. But again, we are talking about those who stayed in Ukraine, and I think maybe some which could pass the border. Maybe it's about ladies, yes, who are not in Ukraine right now. And what I wanted to add, that what is also important, that they help so much with like, not maybe defending, but with security, because we in each cities, in each regions, we have this alerts, this air alerts, yes, and it's not working, I mean, properly in each cities. So that's why they developed the different, like a separate application for people, which could be installed on your mobile, and you can just read. So in your city there is a alert, yes, you need to go to the shelter, so be patient, be alert, and it's very good. And it was made together with our Ministry of it's called like Ministry of Digital Transformation, and this application was created, so they help to the population as well, and it's very useful. And I think, yes, you can see on the bottom of the slide the company's name. Most of them are international, some of them are Ukrainians. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you,
will
Danka.
continue.
Okay, excellent. And thank you, Nata. All right, Danke.
Yeah, actually, shortly about like our diaspora help us. It's in previous meeting we show like photos from different rallies or action of protest in European cities, but actually abroad, people abroad support Ukrainians not only by like a rally, not only going to rallies, but also like giving some humanitarian aid. And one of these organization is actually organization which was established by Ukrainians and diaspora in the USA, and they worked also before like the war. They started their work. Okay, they started their work like in 2014 when Russia like occupied Crimea, and from the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion, they like, you could see these numbers. It's numbers from their official website. You can click and go, like 30 million pounds they raised to help Ukrainians. And also you could see in the image how they organize this process. They from the USA to Poland, because in Poland like so close to Ukrainian border, then to Lviv, and then for those like directly to the east of Ukraine. And now especially they help with some medical supplies and some equipment. And another organization, Alexandra, next slide, it's also Canadian organization, because in Canada there is like the biggest one of the biggest diaspora of Ukrainians, and there they have humanitarian appeal, and they started work like from the February 24, and actually they help like more with such things like evacuation, and also they support some Ukrainians, one organization. They work closely, for example, for Global Medic. Global Medic is not Ukrainian, but they have department in Ukraine. And another organization is, I guess, another organizations which help like Ukrainians to cross the border and to like evacuate them from to Romania and Moldova. And another slide will like one of special one, not special one, but like so important for me, because I have many friends who currently work in media. In some of them, like I saw their stories, but they was in bomb shelter, and they were like writing this news in the bomb shelter, in the metro underground. But before we go, how Ukrainians media fight in their fronts. We want to emphasize that unfortunately there is like victims even around like journalists. The data, like I think it was updated in 6th of April. but the data about killing Ukrainians, it was updated on I guess 4 of March, or not April. Sorry. Yeah, and the thing is that 7 reporters were killed and 11 injured. Боже, зараз секунда. Да.
Now, guys, you hear air alarm
but
in
I'm
real
in
time.
Safe place. Don't worry. I just will. Okay, I am like near the room where is no open windows, so it's safe for me. So sorry. Yeah. Да. Да. So you could click in the this one website and also review how these hotspots, this like spots, how like they in which region we have like journalists who were killed. And unfortunately, it's official data from the international organization Reporters Without Borders. And next slide, Alexandra. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's how Russia propaganda works. And when I first maybe some of you hear this news about famous Ukrainian photographer Max Levine. He was killed in a village near near Kyiv region when Russia withdrew their forces. And the thing is that in left side, maybe Alexandra, you could show this. Actually, this is a screenshot of one of propaganda Russian Telegram channel. Thankfully, it's now successfully blocked, but I made a screenshot earlier, and I don't know if someone know Russian language, but in Russian language, it called like incubator heroev auto, and it's even як сказати, Вацюк в назві.
It's offensive language. They replace one letter in the word heroes, because in Ukrainian it's Heroiv, and they wrote Heroiv, and this first letter they made it offensive language.
Yeah. And I asked my friends to translate it in English, and here you could see like what message was in this Telegram channel. I could read it. For more than 10 years, Max lied through his teeth. In the editorial of LBA and cooperate with Reuters, BBC, TTR, World Association Press, Громадське. His photos were published by propagandistic and deceitful media like Wall Street Journal, Times, Breaking News Poland, EU Agenda, Work News, Correspondent.net, and some on Bulgaria. And now you could like see that it's like it's a propaganda news, like Wall Street Journal, and in their like last sentence there is like finally he is dishonorable and lousy liar was destroyed along with the bastard blood brother. May they rest in terror. In Russian, it was something «Земля будет им стеклобетоном», but it's literally in English, it's mean like may they rest in terror. They don't like want. And the thing is that official data, official like what media say that they found this journalist in West with signed like press. So like Russian soldiers know that it was journalist and they shoot him twice. And also in this picture, you could see one of work of Marx, and I think this picture actually shows the quote, like device, don't know, like
motto,
yeah, one of like her motto of him life. Of him, every Ukrainian photographer dreams to take in a photo that will stop the war. And yeah, it's for me it's so inspiring story. And if you want to learn more, you could also click on the sources. It's like from Media Ukrainian, and learn more about this story. Yeah, next slide, Alexandra. And here we also collected some media organization which helps directly Ukrainian journalists. First, it's like the Media Development Foundation. It's like it was established earlier, but now they change a little bit their works. Now they directly help like regional editorial office. Also, they supply some first aid kits for journalists, and also they have like managers who could help with some consultations. And another organization is actually founded with the support, because I work closely with them, with the support of international medias, with the support of with Reporters Without Borders. They created a chatbot, like hotline for media organization, so every journalist could use this chatbot, and if they have any requests, they could write, and this organization will help them. Another is Lviv Media Foundation. They also help with some shelters, some assistance, but what is like more important for me is they works with fixers who help international journalists come to Ukraine and like show this war in the international media. Yeah. And next slide, it's a slide which most of you, I guess, already saw. This we collected some Ukrainians media, like independent. Most of them, they are all independent, and they tell like what is going on in Ukraine in English language and also in foreign language. For example, Ukrainian is still in 9 languages. Yeah, so if you want, you could check their website and also Telegram or channels or Instagram pages. Yeah. And next slide, I guess it's what you can do for Ukraine. You already saw this slide, but we emphasize like, please donate for Ukrainian army, because now our army is like, they are like the biggest defenders for us, and I just like spend like 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, and I was thinking about this polk at night, about this polk Azov that is in Mariupol, and I was thinking, no, it is impossible that they could like lay down their arms. It's impossible. I really believe that they will be stay like for the for, I don't know, as they can, they will stay like for the last soldier, if it for the last soldier in the brigada, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, Danka, may I add something about Azov?
Yeah.
In Mariupol, there are many troops, many kind of troops, and they have ordered to burn it to the ground. And the most horrible thing, I guess, that every soldier, every Ukrainian soldier, every Ukrainian defender who is in Azov still, he realized that if Russians will capture them, they will torture them as, I don't know how to do, what adjective to add, but they will torture them, and it will be horrible, and they know it, and they realize it, and they live with this every day, every hour.
Yeah. And concerning to Azov, I just remind this that there is like not similar, but Russia in 2014, Russia also tried to occupy Mariupol as Russia did it with Crimea, but thankfully to Azov, Mariupol wasn't occupied. Like Azov saved Mariupol in 2014, and now they are protecting like Mariupol, but not only Mariupol. Так, стіна. Маріуполь – це стіна для всієї України. Олександр.
Mariupol is some kind of shield or wall for the whole Ukraine.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so it's like all from
that's all from our presentation, and we thank you that you let us share it.
Thank you so much. Please, can we just show them some love for, as usual, how comprehensive and how objective and how balanced they try to be. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, we do need to close. We're coming up on 90 minutes in terms of scheduled time. But as always, we open the floor briefly. If anybody has any comments or questions or a reaction to what you've seen or heard, please raise your hand using the Zoom app and the floor, and you will get the mic. All right, GK, please go ahead.
Hello, guys. Thank you for the opportunity. And what I just don't have any words to say because I feel kind of helpless as per se. But then again, I have one word. Let's be the Tanyas in the world. I was inspired by that story, and I feel like we really need more Tanyas, and let's be the Tanyas that we need in this world. Yes. Slavia.
Thank you,
Героям
GK.
слава.
Thank you. All right, who else wants the microphone? Comments, questions, reactions? Just raise your hand. All right. Benzi, Kofi, you have the microphone.
Thank you very much. I was actually, I don't know how to express it. When I heard the gunshot or the sound at the background, and she has to stop the presentation and feel like she's not safe. But realizing that the windows are closed, I was just like, they are in a trying times. It's not easy at all. I just feel for them. Like, we are praying. We know everything that has a beginning has an end. It is not never going to remain this way. Definitely, it's going to end. And we pray that it ends soon so that they can regain their freedom. We are behind you. We are really behind you. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pansy. Judith, I see your hand. You've got the microphone.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say to our Ukrainian friends that if you ever have any doubt that coming here every week and presenting this information to us is making a difference, because I know that, as you said, it takes so much energy for you to do it, and you're in such an impossible situation, and so just the fact that you come here every week, I just want you to understand how much of a difference it actually makes, because in between times, the rest of us, we go back to our lives, we have families and responsibilities and things we have to take care of. But every time I come here and listen and watch your presentations, I am re-energized to participate and to do something. And every time I come, I take an action. I just want you to know that. Every single time I see a presentation of yours, I take an action. It might be a small action, maybe it's just a little donation, or maybe it's signing something or making a phone call or something, but every single time I take an action. And that's because you guys are constantly keeping it in front of mind for us. And I cannot tell you how important that is and what an impact it's making on the rest of us, as well as for Ukraine. So thank you for everything you're doing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Judith. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Emmanuel, you've got the microphone. Emmanuel Okose, you got the mic. Please go ahead. Emmanuel, we don't hear you. At least I don't. All right, while we wait for Emmanuel, Ben, you got the microphone.
Hello, can you know?
Yes, we can hear you now. Please proceed.
Yeah,
Emmanuel, the line is very, very bad. We don't hear you. I'm so sorry, we don't hear you. If you can please put your message in the Zoom chat, Emmanuel. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. Please put your message in the chat. Thank you. Ben, you've got the mic.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I didn't know about the video. If I'd known, I would have done one. But they were really, really great. And there was something James said, sort of about, I can't remember the word he used, but it was really powerful. And I think it was Alexandra in the chat on the forum that replied to me. And I'd never seen my name in Ukrainian before. And it was the coolest thing ever, I won't lie. I took the message and I put it on Translate to try and see which part was my name, and saw it. And it was really cool. It was like one of those sort of 5 minutes of wow, nice. But it reminded me of the fact that, a lot of names, for example, my name in Spanish, French, whatever, it's the same name, but there's something really cool about Ukrainian, which is that your name isn't spelled the same way that it is, everywhere else. It's got its own special way of being spelled, which I thought was really cool, and it made me smile. So thank you for that. And I also wanted to say about Miracle. God, sorry, botched that pronunciation. Yeah, I can see you laughing. Sorry, but about it being blown up. But there was, I don't know if anyone knows about Paris in the Second World War, when Hitler ordered that Paris be burnt to the ground, destroyed, blown up, if the Germans were to ever leave. But the German general, I think it was, or lieutenant colonel that was in command, decided that Paris was such a beautiful city that he was never going to let it be blown up. And so he disobeyed orders and just let the French go into Paris and didn't destroy anything. Well, I think there was a bit of a fight a couple of days before, but they didn't blow anything up, where they'd all had these explosives lined up ready to blow, and he didn't blow it. Sort of like the last bridge into Germany when they didn't blow that. And I'm hoping, praying, that it's the same, and that they see the beauty and they understand that by blowing up the city, you're not winning the battle. You're simply showing that you couldn't have won without resorting to inhumane measures. To destroy a city isn't winning a battle. It's either, I don't even know what the word would be, but everyone knows what I mean. So yeah, hopefully that's the case. Is that the Russians realize that what they're doing is just give up while you're ahead, because to be honest, you look like a joke to the rest of the world, and what you're doing is despicable and disgusting. So thank you guys. Have a lovely week, and I look forward to seeing you all next week, and I'll chat with you in the forum. And Danka, please send me a message, because I could not figure out how to do it. I didn't want to get it wrong, so send me a message so I can donate to 3 charities. You guys pick them, just pick whichever ones, and I'll donate to them. So yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much for sharing, Ben. Thank you. I have Banzi. You have the microphone. If you can unmute, please.
Thank you for the second chance. Please, I want to make this request, if it is possible and safe. Some of the pictures in your presentation, like the demolition of some of the houses and all that, will it be safe if you share it with us so that we can equally circulate it for others to know? People in other regions probably only hear the news or a flash on news, but actually doesn't know what is going on, and probably might care less. But seeing some of these pictures, these images, that look so devastating, might touch their heart for them to wanting to take action. So I want to know, will it be safe if you have a site that we can go and then probably download some of these images and probably some short videos about the real happenings that are not in the news? We can share to the rest of the world. Is it safe that way? If it is, can we get the link? Thank you.
May I answer? We are not allowed to do it real time, and every picture that you see, the damages were made few days earlier, at least few days earlier. So all Ukrainians are forbidden to, you hear the sound of bomb and you go take a picture and you post it. No, it's forbidden. We are not allowed to do it. I believe
Yes, Alexandra, it's not earlier, it's later, like few days later, you're allowed to post it. Yes, yes.
Sorry, later. Sorry.
But I think that we can also help. Okay, so all these presentations they share, the images, we can also host that in a way you can access it. Now, please bear with us, because unfortunately, like everybody else, nobody expected Russia to invade Ukraine. And we're just a small organization. I wish I had a team to put on this campaign and you would see more. So please bear with us. We are setting up infrastructure to support the campaign, but we will make sure we can have easy access where you can access the insights from these conversations, okay?
Could I shortly add, because right now I sent the link for whole our presentation. We will add this presentation to this folder and you can find and overview them. And also the last one is like Telegram channel. If someone of you use Telegram channel, it's like from from Emanuele, it was your question, yeah. So if you want to see like real pictures, what is happening in Ukraine, you can go to this Telegram channel and overview all these like horrible pictures. Yeah.
Thank you, Danka. Okay, so I see Mihaki and then Chantel, and I think we close after that. All right. Of course, I will give our Ukrainian sisters a chance for any closing thoughts. But Mihaki and then Chantel. Mihaki, please proceed.
Hello. Mine, I think I just want to say how important you people are. Danka, Alexandra, Nata, and Tim. I don't know, my heart has just been beating every time you're giving us the reality check. I can't even imagine what Danka was feeling the moment there were sirens outside and she had to continue the presentation. This reminds me like when I was a child in Kenya, 2007, we had post-election violence in Kenya, but I was a child, but I had somewhere to run to. That was my hometown that was invaded. People were burnt in a church, but I had Nairobi to run to, but Ukraine is at war. Where do you people run to? I just want to say we are with you. And as Judith said, you people inspire us to take action because it's easy to get caught up, especially if your country is so peaceful, and forget that some brothers and sisters are fighting somewhere. So I feel like I'm shaking, but I just want to, I'm just like reliving the reality of what you people are going through. And I just want to say, keep going, keep going, keep going. I know it takes so much to even prepare the presentations. Just sitting here and checking the images, I just don't know how you feel like when you're taking the images of your hometown and had to pick out a few clothes to go away. So good job. You are our heroines and you are counted. It's not a small organization, Yemi. We have everybody from around the world and we are here to take action. So good job and keep going. As one of us said, there's end to everything. It will not last forever. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mihaki. Chantel, you got the mic.
Hi. Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Is my audio
Yes.
okay? Great. So thank you so much for
Isn't
sharing
it the middle of the night for you or something like that?
a bit, but I show up because like Danka and my friends are here.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And yeah, I'm pulling off an Aldi, but pretty much thank you for doing this every week. It's not easy. It's not an easy task to show up and to talk about these things. And we really, really appreciate you being here. I guess which is why, despite it being like the middle of the night, I also want to show up for you guys because I think, at the end of the day, we talk about war, but we can also talk about love. And I see you guys fighting for the country that you guys love and for the home that you love and for the families that you love. And I don't know, I guess, I mean, if love can kill, then I guess you guys, the invasion would be over just because you guys are so full of it. And but definitely, I think that there's so many people who care and who are behind you and who, have so much love to give as well. And more, I hope that through the things we do here, through the conversations we have, through what you're doing here now, raising awareness, talking about what's really happening, we can get people to translate that love into action. Because there's so much of there that's stored, but perhaps a lot might not know how to bring it out, might not have the courage to stand up. But I think by you guys standing up and saying, we're going to take a stand, this isn't right, and we're putting everything on the line, you give others permission to do the same. You're giving us permission to do the same. And thank you for doing this. Thank you for arranging this. We really appreciate it. And I wish you guys really stay safe, stay healthy, and eventually this would all be over soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chantal. Thank you. Thank you. And to everybody else who's here with us past midnight, thank you for being here. We're closing now, but before we do, I want to invite our Ukrainian sisters. Is there anything you want to say by way of closing thoughts? as we bring today's event to a close. So you've got the microphone, Nata, Alexandra, Danka, who else is here? You've got the mic.
Yeah, may I share some thoughts? Well, during Danka's speech, while the presentation was running, she told not once, she told about Ukrainian diaspora. And the fact is that Ukrainian diaspora is the third largest diaspora in the world by the quantity. And do you know what is the reason? Russia, because for hundreds years, they made our lives impossible. So many people had to move abroad to save their lives, to find a way to earn money to live. So everything is connected. And now they save us, those who have to stay here, those who decided, who choose to fight. And I'm not sure if you realize how important your words of support for us today. You see me, I'm very emotional, so my eyes are full of tears when I see that you say that we do the right thing, and because honestly, sometimes I believe that, oh God, it's only presentation. I don't change nothing. So, and my impact is so small and nobody see it. And I'm professional in this, but when I hear your voices, your words of support and your approve, thank you for this. You give us energy, that energy that we need to keep going. And Yemi, I hear that your voice sounds not very good. I believe that you don't feel great or even good, but you here, you with us, you support us. We hear it, we see it, and Yemi, we love you. Thank you guys.
I love you too. Thank you. Our brothers and sisters are dying, so the least we can do is come together. So you don't need to thank me. Thank you so much, though. Nata.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming. Really, it's like our weekly basis, hearing our stories, the stories from our native country. And what I also realized that really, yes, as Alexandra mentioned correctly, it's only a presentation, like sometimes we think, but not, of course not, it's not only a presentation. Yes, it's very important because we are fighting on different levels. Like if we are not in the army, we can support, like, I don't know, with money, for example, with information, with sharing some news with you, and you will share it with others. So it's really necessary job and very effective one, which we can of course forget about it. And right now I just realized that, like, in my normal life, I'm doing yoga now. I'm also trying to do it. It's like more or less I have successful with this, but usually, yes, I like doing my yoga classes. And there is a word in yoga which means abhyasa. So abhyasa, it's just you repeat everything, you just practice and repeat. Yes, so there is nothing like the best option or the best pose or the best asana you can do. You just repeat and repeat and repeat, and it's your journey. Yes, it's your journey. And now what we are doing, our presentations every week, so we're doing abhyasa. We just repeat, we provide new information, we encourage maybe new people, maybe we motivate the people who are with us during all this week. Maybe there are some newcomers. So I just realized, it just came to my mind. So thank you so much to you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Nata. Danka.
Yeah, yes, thank you everyone who come, and especially in like night time. Yeah, actually I have like a similar feeling like Alexandra and Nata has, like, because I remember that at the first meeting there was like more than 80 people, And in previous meetings there was 30, and now I see again 25, 30, and I'm thinking what I'm doing wrong, maybe something why less people. Yeah, but I really appreciate for those who come, who like really care and of us, and it's like a part. It's not only a presentation. It's like some opportunity for you to know how is Ukraine, how we are safe or not safe. We're safe. And yes, thank you for that. And also announce for the next meeting. Today we tell how Ukraine fight in different fronts, but for the next meeting we want to invite people who like participate directly in these different fronts. There will be one girl from Ukrainian NGO called Plast. Maybe we didn't mention it in our today's presentation, but it's like some kind of Ukrainian scouts, and we also tried to connect with some journalists or people who work with media in Ukraine. So and invite them to be a guest speakers in next meeting in order, it like directly, not from us, but from them. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Danka. Thank you so much, everybody. I want to just echo the voices we've heard already to say a big thank you, first of all, to our Ukrainian family. Thank you for making the time to be here. Thank you for the diligence you put into these presentations. They're so well thought through, they're thorough, they're sourced. So that's just amazing. And it makes us feel super comfortable to invite people to come and listen to you, because we know that you're using this platform in the best way humanly possible. So thank you. Again, echoing Danka's voice, please, let's invite more people here. Okay, so let's invite others to join us. This is definitely a safe space. As some of you will remember, we've even had Russians join us here, right? So this is a safe space. It doesn't matter where the person is from. We can come here and be united for Ukraine. So please, let's invite more people. We will also send out material about how to make your own video. So please make a video, even if it's short, and we will support the dissemination of these videos. I also want to echo the thanks to everybody who's made time to be here today. All right, it might feel like a small action, but it really matters. If you look around the room, you can see that we value every extra heart that's in this space. Makes us feel like it was worthwhile to be here. So thank you. I want to send you all love. Please stay safe. Make no mistake, this is uncharted territory for our world. And in these moments, it's important to remember that we did something. We took action. We did not just watch and wait. We took some action. Even if that action is being united for Ukraine, sorry, I've got my usual insurgency here trying to rip up documents. Even if some action, and that action is just being here and being united for Ukraine, bless you, and I love you, thank you, you did something. You didn't just watch. Even if the action is just posting on social media, you did something, bless you, and thank you. As I said at the beginning of this call, my conviction is we need some kind of intervention. And it's going to be intervention from man or intervention from God. We don't know where it's coming from. So if you're religious, please pray. If you're not religious, meditate, send positive thoughts. If you're active on social media, please post, enforce the peace. The world is still blind still thinking that any kind of intervention is a declaration of war. And that doesn't have to be the case. Have you ever seen two friends fighting where one of them screams to his friend, hold me back, hold me back? Have you ever seen that scene? It's almost a bit of a comedy, right? So they threaten to fight, and one of them says, I'm gonna kill you. And then he leans back into his friends and goes, hold me back, hold me back. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes the people fighting want us to intervene. Sometimes our intervention is the face-saving act that they need to stop what they're doing. And right now, we're not doing anything. We're so-called cheering the Ukrainians from the side, sending them weapons. We're doing sanctions. We're doing things we've never done before. But unfortunately, those things are not enough. We have to stop the fighting. We have to stop the fighting. And if the armies that have the means to stop the fighting, if they don't do it, then who will? Who will? This is not a Cinderella story, right? We can't expect Prince Charming to descend from the clouds and somehow there's a happy ending. This is real life. What's going to happen next really depends on us. And like I said, this is uncharted territory. Even the world leaders are not sure what they should do. So every action helps. Whether you make a video, you post on social media, you invite a friend, you talk to a friend. My position is we must advocate that the world enforces the peace. We can't stand on the sidelines and watch this massacre, this genocide continue. We can't just stand there. We can't stand on the sidelines and tell our Ukrainian brothers and sisters, oh, I admire your courage. We can't stand there and say, we'll send you weapons. That's not humanity. Nobody does that. I don't know a single person, even the evil people I know, would not watch two of their brothers fighting and stand on the side. Humanity will intervene. All right, these are my closing thoughts. I want to say thank you. Obviously, I shared at the beginning that I was distressed by all that's going on. This has given me some hope. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your light. We will continue praying. We will continue working, and we'll continue taking action the way that we can. I look forward to seeing you next week. Please let's RSVP and let's invite more people to RSVP. All right? Sending you lots and lots of love. I would like us to please close with the Ukrainian national anthem, if that's okay. And after that, we are free to go. So I will definitely stand, and you're welcome to join me or to acknowledge the anthem, however you know. Thank you.
Ні слава, ні воля, ще нам, браття українці, усміхнеться доля. Згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці, запануєм ми, браття, у своїй сторонці, душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького
All right, I love you. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Can't wait to see you again soon. I hope my voice will be better. All right. Mwah. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, guys. You are so important.
Thank you.
And Judith, I forgot to say to you personally, I admire you. Thank you for the words you say. And Danka shared that your grandfather and grandmother were from Ukraine. If I'm not, yeah, I was touched with this story. And your family knew bad times too. Sorry for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for every kind word you say.
Oh, they're all from my heart, my dear.
Thank you.
Every time I check the news websites, I'm always so afraid of what I'm going to see. I'm always checking what's going on in Ukraine. You know, I feel just grateful your president is still alive. In the early days of this war, I was dreading waking up every morning to hear that he'd been killed. But I'm grateful he's still alive. He's a warrior. He's a real warrior. But you have so many warriors across Ukraine. We're praying for you. And in truth, we're praying for us. Because what's going on in Ukraine affects all of us. All right. Sending you love. See you guys next time.